I do almost all of my hauling by myself. I rarely have someone else to help me, and so I've gotten a handy method, I think, for hauling horses by myself. And usually I try to fill the trailer up, so I'm taking three because I have three slots. So I have the slides, the dividers clipped against the wall, and I've just unclipped the first one. The first horse that I've loaded up here is a veteran loader and traveler, and so I'm putting him in first because I know he can wait patiently and not paw or kick in there, and therefore he won't scare any of the horses that I bring in next. So I like to make the first slot the columnist loader if I'm loading several. And the second one that I'm loading here is a greenie, so he hasn't traveled too often. And I'm sandwiching him between two pretty confident travelers so that he'll feel like he's got two horses to be next to that are still, they're not making scary noises in the trailer, they're not banging around. He'll feel comforted by their being there. And that, that can change depending on the horse. I might put the worst, most afraid one last. Just totally depends. But in this case, this guy feels safer in the second slot. And it's worth noting that everybody has practiced loading in and out on their own before we're going anywhere. So this guy has already practiced going in the trailer and backing out before I close the slant. And I'm going to give you a little close up here of how I help him stay still while I close the slant, because one of the more common things that happens is that the horse will try to turn around and follow you. I make it a point to never tie a horse before I've closed the slant, because if he starts going backward, he can really get himself caught up and scared. So I just slide this rope through the tie ring, and I'm holding it here while I close the slant. So that gives him a little support up front. And then I just bring this slant on in and close it while holding the rope. So that necessitates a couple things to do. First, that every horse that I load with this method already knows how to lead and follow the pressure of the lead rope very, very well, and that they already know how to load in and out of the trailer before any of this. So I've just got the lead rope hanging over his back. So when I go to close a horse in, I just let that rope follow me through the ring, and then I close the slant. So that way the slant is closed, and I tie last. And I find that that's super important because it's much easier to prevent a wreck than to fix the ramifications of a wreck. And this guy, he has some sore feet on the gravel, so we take it easy on the gravel. I try not to rush him, but he doesn't feel too thrilled about walking on it. And he just missed his step there. I like to keep my flag handy just on the off chance that I need it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Also, it's worth noting that if you are using a flag inside the trailer, it's very important not to whip it around under the horse's chin by accident while you're in the trailer with them. And then the same thing with this last slot is I just hold on to the rope, close the door, and the rope is just there if I need it. Now I'm going to go up and tie everybody in their slots. And I like to use a bowline knot. You can use a quick release knot. Everybody kind of has their own knot that they like to tie, but I tie from the outside of the trailer. That way everybody is already secured with their slants closed before I take off. I never tie before the trailer slants are closed or the trailer door is closed, because that's just asking for a wreck. Sometimes with my more broke horses, I will tie with the door open, but I really prefer to avoid it. Just like I said, it's easier to prevent a wreck than it is to fix. Once you get a horse worried about backing out of the trailer and breaking a tie, that's just really unpleasant to fix. So now we've made it to our destination, and I untie everybody before I ever open the door. Again, that's extremely important. And here's another reason why I've got my veteran loader up front, because he's going to be the last one out, and he's going to have to wait the longest to get out. If you open this door and you've got one that's going to bolt out, you want to really watch your position here. And that door is heavy, so it'll stay open. But if you don't have a door that will stay open, then you need to secure it with a bungee, because the last thing that you want is a door to come and swing and hit your horse on the way out. I try to set trailering up so that the horse is experiencing the least amount of scary things happening as possible, because getting in the scary box is scary enough as it is. And again, you just want to make this experience as pleasant as possible, because if you're like me and you have to haul by yourself time and time again, it's just wonderful to have horses that'll just load right up and get out. And you get that through practice, but you get that as well through setting things up for the horse to be able to be just as comfortable as they can be. So here's my greenie. I'm holding that door, that slant, back with my body, and you'll see it go farther back in a second. I'm just helping him get his bearings here before we start going back out. I don't want that slant to hit him as he backs out. So he can have all the time in the world to back out. He's got a buddy on either end. Sometimes they can be really afraid backing out because they don't see well behind them. That's a big step. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where that first step is. And again, he's practiced this before, so this is not the first time he's done it. So that's really important to mention, because I don't want the first time this horse has gone in and out of a trailer like mine to be when I'm alone and I've got another horse waiting to get out. And also, while I'm loading horses in and out, I want to keep track of where I am in space, where they are in space, and I want to make sure that I know where everybody is in relation to me and each other. I can't get so task focused that I forget to maintain the basic awareness that you need to stay safe, especially while getting in and out of a trailer. Never make any assumptions. Never assume that your horse ties well or loads well or unloads well. Always have everything set up for your horse to succeed and stay aware. That's super important. And never assume two horses get along. Just don't make assumptions, because you never know. And if you lose your sense of awareness, that's when wrecks happen. So, and I always shut the trailer door also when I'm done and ready to tie horses to the trailer, just so that it doesn't swing and hit anyone.